The choosing ceremony was supposed to be simple. Each human colonist on Vera 6 would select a native companion to form a bond with, an ancient tradition that the alien inhabitants swore was vital for survival on their world. They called it the pairing. Most people paired with gentle forest dwellers, the Erila, who looked vaguely like luminous deer. Others chose the bird-like Sereni, whose songs healed wounds and lifted spirits. It was meant to be peaceful, symbolic, something to unite humanity and Vera's tribes. But when it came my turn, everything went wrong. The plaza was alive with music and glowing vines as the aliens stood in rows, waiting to be chosen. Their eyes shimmered in colors the human spectrum struggled to hold. My fellow colonists stepped forward one by one, clasping hands, wings, or paws with their chosen partners. Smiles, applause, cheers. Then the crowd hushed. Because I hadn't chosen anyone. My heart hammered in my chest as the elder of the Erila, draped in mossy silk, looked at me with concern. "Human Cade," he said, his voice like wind in reeds. "Why do you hesitate?" I swallowed hard. I didn't know how to explain it. None of them called to me. Then the air grew colder. The glow of the vines dimmed. A shadow slipped from the far end of the plaza, where no alien was supposed to stand. She moved like smoke, like hunger itself given form. Pale skin gleamed beneath the twin moons, and her black hair coiled like a storm. Her crimson eyes fixed on me, unblinking. Gasps spread through the crowd. "A Verathi," someone whispered. "A night stalker." I didn't know the name then, but I saw the way every alien stepped back, as though she were a blade sliding between them. Her lips curved into a smile that showed sharp white fangs. And without waiting, she came to me. "You are mine," she said in perfect accented English. "Chosen or not." The plaza erupted into shouts. Elders protested, colonists panicked. But she ignored them all and reached for my hand. Her skin was cool like river stone at night. Against every instinct, I didn't pull away. Because something inside me, deep, irrational, said she was right. The middle. Her name was Saraska. That first night after the choosing, I learned what it meant to be bound to a Verathi. The others went home with companions who sang lullabies, offered sweet fruits, or blessed their dreams. I was dragged into the wilderness, Saraska moving faster than my eyes could follow. She took me into a cavern carved with black crystal that pulsed faintly, as if alive. Torches of eerie blue fire lit the walls, throwing shadows like talons. "This is my dwelling," she said, sweeping her arms wide. "Now yours." I tried to steady my breathing. "Look, I think there's been a mistake. The pairing was supposed to be." She cut me off with a low laugh, a sound that vibrated in my chest. "Do you think bonds are made by rules? By elders and lights? Well, bonds are made by blood, by hunger, by need." Her eyes locked on my throat, and I stumbled back. "You're a vampire," I whispered. She tilted her head, amused. "A word from your myths. Close enough." For days I lived in unease. She didn't bite me, though she teased constantly, leaning close as if to taste the pulse in my neck. Instead, she brought me meat from beasts I couldn't name, fruits that glowed faintly in the dark. She showed me how to kindle the blue flames, how to listen to the underground rivers, how to move silently so predators wouldn't find me. The wildness in her terrified me, yet it also fascinated me. She wasn't like the other aliens, who bent themselves into gentle shapes for human comfort. Saraska was raw, fierce, untamed. And strangely, she trusted me. At night, when I lay awake, she would sit nearby, watching the cavern's entrance like a sentinel. Once I asked her why. "Because you are fragile," she said simply. "And mine." As the weeks passed, I began to notice things. When she hunted, she never harmed prey needlessly. She only killed to feed. When storms struck, she guided me to safety before securing her own. And when other Varathi approached, gaunt, crimson-eyed shapes with whispers like knives, she drove them off with snarls that shook the stones. One evening, after she returned bloodstained from a fight with her own kin, I asked, "Why protect me at all? Why not just feed and be done?" She crouched before me, her gaze burning. "Because I have lived centuries alone. And when I saw you standing in that circle, your heart wild, your spirit restless, I knew. You are the only one who does not flinch from the dark. You are not prey to me. You are partner." The word struck something deep inside me. Partner. I thought the pairing was about survival, about treaties. But for her it was something primal, something truer. And, against all reason, I started to feel the same. The conflict. Not everyone accepted it. When I returned to the colony weeks later, leading Saraska out of the forest, the reaction was almost violent. Children cried. Soldiers raised weapons. The elders demanded I sever the bond. "She will drain you," they warned. "She will doom us all." Saraska only smiled, her fangs catching the light. "Let them try." I stood between her and their fear, my heart hammering. "She's not the monster you think. She saved my life more times than I can count. If we want peace with this world, we can't just embrace the gentle tribes and banish the fierce ones. We take all of it, or none." The arguments dragged for days. Threats, pleas, bargains. Through it all, Saraska remained calm, watching me instead of them. As though my choice mattered more than any council's decree. Then came the raid. One night, shrieks tore through the settlement. Shadows ripped through defenses. Rogue Varathi, feral and ravenous, attacking humans and allies alike. Chaos reigned. And it was Saraska who stood with us. She tore through her kin like a storm of claws and flame, faster than any I could follow. Where she struck, silence fell. When one of the beasts nearly reached me, she appeared in an instant, ripping it away before it touched me. The colonists watched, stunned, as the wild vampire woman fought not against us, but for us. When the dawn came, the raiders were dead or driven off. The settlement still stood. And Saraska, covered in blood, looked at me with a strange vulnerability. "Now do they believe?" she whispered. I took her hand, ignoring the fear in the eyes around us. "They will." The ending. Acceptance didn't come overnight. But after the raid, no one could deny the truth. Without Saraska, we would have been wiped out. Slowly, warily, the colonists began to lower their weapons when she passed. The elders, though still uneasy, allowed her to remain by my side. Life settled into a rhythm. By day I worked with the colony. By night I returned to the caverns with her, learning the hidden ways of Vera 6. She taught me to see in darkness, to feel the earth's pulse, to listen to silence as if it were language. And she, in turn, let me teach her. About human stories, laughter, the warmth of fire shared instead of stolen. Sometimes she even smiled, genuine, unguarded. One evening under the twin moons she asked, "Do you regret it? That your mate is not some gentle singer, but me?" I looked at her. The wildness in her eyes, the fierce loyalty she bore, the strange tenderness hidden beneath claws. And I realized the answer was clear. Not once,